And we are back live from the Noman green screen hangar. Louis Tucci here again for day 3 of the ZBrush Summit 2016. I mean, it's been 3 days of absolute joyous talks between friends here on the floor. Some really incredible technical features being highlighted, and then some quick tips and tricks at the tail end there. During the ID software presentation, I have Jason Martin, Bryan Wynia, and the new friend of mine here, Denzil O'Neill.
Louis.
Denzil, mate. Mate. Not going to lie, mate. Mate, great to see you. All right.
Good to see you, Louis.
I'd like to start off the presentation here. I'd like to talk a little bit about your time in Australia.
Yeah, I grew up in Australia, obviously. Yeah, I worked in Australia for about 10 years.
Right.
Did like most normal Australian stuff. Played
Do
a
any
lot of
surfing?
sport. Yeah, a bit of bodyboarding and stuff.
Bodyboarding,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Footy.
A bit of footy.
Footy.
A lot of cricket. Yeah,
Right. Got my eye on
riding
you.
kangaroos
Right.
or just the normal stuff. Yeah.
All kidding aside, mate. All kidding aside, right? Let's talk a little bit about, so you spent a long time, I'm going to drop the accent now because the people at home in Australia are probably wanting to kick they're tapping, they're beating up.
They're
Yeah,
pissed,
right.
man.
Yeah, they're bloody pissed at this one. They're pissed at this point. They're like, what's going on here? They've switched accents. Okay, so how does the land down under, because it is such a wonderfully different landscape and a vastly different isthmus, how does that land influence your design aesthetic and overall perception of the world as a designer?
Oh wow.
Yeah, you didn't think that was coming. That's articulate right there.
I guess. If I was going to say anything, it's a positive outlook, you know. So, yeah, in terms of like influencing my art, I don't know, like Australia.
I think it's a subconscious thing maybe that comes through.
Yeah, maybe just always having a crack. Maybe that's a good one. Like one of the big things in Australia is just to, even if you're not confident at, just have a go. You know, like just have a crack at it. So I always want to give stuff a go. Even though
yeah, we say that back in Canada too.
ballpark,
Yeah, we try to just say, hey, I can do that. You know, somebody says, hey, can you do that? Yeah, I can try. You don't ever admit that you're going to try. You just say, of course I can do that.
Yeah.
You figure it out later when no one's looking.
Well, yeah, not even a fake it till you can make it. It's just,
Legitimately.
just jump in, you know.
Yeah.
Well, even
And
your ZBrush stuff.
You need the microphone if you're going to talk there. Yeah.
Oh, hello there. Well, just even like your hard surface, like you just tried it and you just did it. It looked awesome.
Well, you know, that's the process of watching these guys as well, and being inspired, and yeah.
That's an interesting thing you say, you know, working with these guys. These are two sort of senior statesmen in the creature development and video games industry at this point.
Yeah.
How do you
Big
feel
names.
as a newcomer to this particular team? How long have you been with the team?
Oh, I've been with the team 2.5 years, over
Okay.
2.5 years now. So
it's been some time.
Yeah.
What's that kind of experience for you coming from afar and working with these guys who are, you know, have really cut their teeth in the market for so many years?
Yeah. Well, these guys are like living gods in the art community.
Oh God! Somebody's got a free lunch. Somebody's got a free lunch here. Holy smoke! This guy knows how to powder cake.
I had to
He
like
knows how
that
to
in
butter
there.
up a room. Here we go. I got to keep a wrap on these guys.
Yeah, Denz has been on it longer than I have.
Right.
Yeah, no, Denz
But
knows what's up.
But you've
I mean,
been
that's
there.
very
I mean,
legitimate.
you've
Like
been-
working
that's
with these
fair.
guys, these
But it is
guys
a
are
legitimate
very
question.
prominent, and
Yeah.
it's amazing. Like I get to learn from the best. So
Right.
I mean, I can't thank Jason and Hugo and the whole team for bringing me on.
Yeah,
enough,
Hugo Martin
'cause-
should be mentioned as a tremendous designer. Hugo, if you're
Yeah.
watching, I hope Hugo's watching this.
Yeah, he
Hugo,
usually watches these.
we're thinking of you too, pal. When do you mean to make an appearance here? You
I
know,
wouldn't be surprised if he trolled the actual Twitch stream.
probably.
Yeah,
You're right.
definitely.
Yeah, little troll you. Anyway, that point is that no, that's a good thing to say because I think, but you know, Wynia, he's been around and it's, you know, his
been around the
sort of
block, yeah.
reputation carries itself. He's blowing gas here.
But no, like I've leaps and bounds of like
Yeah.
beyond what I thought I would be capable of. I've just improved a lot. So
Okay, wonderful.
I can't thank him enough. Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice to have you. Nice to be a friend
Yeah.
of yours at this particular point. Essentially, what I want to know is discuss any kind of hurdles. You know, a lot of people think,
Yeah.
how long have you lived in America now?
The amount of time I've been with Ed is the amount of time I've been in the States.
So like 2.5
yeah,
years.
yeah.
So for you, there's a lot of people watching from, like I've mentioned earlier, hundreds of different countries at this point
Yeah.
around the world, dreaming of careers here in the games and film industry.
Yep.
You know, sort of give them your perspectives on the transition to American life and what difficulties or hurdles you may have experienced as a newcomer, as an artist in the industry.
Oh wow. Actually, it's all pretty. that's legitimate. It's all pretty positive. like coming here, there's so much industry in the States. I mean, it's really the place to be for this kind of stuff. So, and you know, going back home, it's sad to say, but the industry's kind of dwindled in the past, you know, 5 to 10 years. So, coming here is really like, it's awesome. It's like a godsend. So, in terms of hurdles, I mean, there's the accent, trying to understand people, little stuff like that.
It's ZBrush, right?
Getting used to
ZBrush, mate.
I'm gonna, yeah, okay.
It's a dead giveaway, man. Yeah, right?
I mean, little cultural things, just the way, even like you might pay for a meal or something,
Right.
is just different. So.
Tell us about that. What do you mean?
So back home, we don't really like ask for checks and bills and stuff like that, and obviously we don't tip.
Right.
Yeah. But
Okay. Well, there you go. Now you know, huh?
on the art side, like in terms of coming here, not really a hurdle. It's just getting here is a little of a hurdle, but when you're here and you're just soaking it up, so it's just been
Fair enough. So
going
you're
good.
dealing with you don't get homesick or anything at this point. You kind of
That's a big one. Yeah. I'm glad you brought
That's what I'm
that
getting
up.
at.
Yeah, so I mean, I get the chance to go back home.
Yeah.
You know, maybe once a year, so
Okay.
once or twice a year.
Yeah, same with me.
Yeah.
And you get on
Because
in the years.
you're from Canada.
I'm from
right?
Toronto, yeah. So I go back once a year if I'm lucky, and then quench that thirst. You know, wake up under the desk in a law firm from time to time.
Yeah.
Said that live, didn't I? More on that after
Friends
the show,
and
guys.
family.
Yeah,
You know,
off
it's the
camera.
connections that you miss, I think, the most.
Yeah. Okay. So you're dealing with that, is what you're saying. Well, you got these guys to lean on too, right? They're nice guys. right?
Yeah.
Try to be.
Every
Yeah.
now and then. Yeah,
Okay,
right.
so fair enough. You've been grilled long enough at this point. Wait, before we hand off the mic to these other compatriots of yours, Mad Max. Any thoughts on the new one?
Oh, we loved it. I think the whole studio loved it, and it was
Okay.
even. It was talked a lot about in terms of its relation to Doom and the Doom arena.
Yeah, that's
the
why I
whole
brought it up. Hey.
silent protagonist thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're
that was
connected
such
right
a
here.
great film. Yeah, I
Okay,
loved
cool.
it.
I'm glad to hear
Yeah.
you say that. Yeah. So, Jason Big Man Martin. Here we go. They call him believer, deceiver on the forums, etc. But to me, you're always the big man. You look more distinguished than ever.
Oh, well, thank you. I think I got more gray hair since last time I saw you.
Absolutely, that's true. Me too. Right. Great to see you. Put her there. Yeah. How are things in the two-wheel exploits going?
Oh, man. I have a lot of projects, but they've been set unfinished.
Your
in the
garage is just sitting there unfinished. That's what I was
saw
afraid.
Last year, Doom took priority, man. I mean, it's been a hard year, but a rewarding year.
Okay.
We're concerned, but you know what, dude? We're wrapping up some DLC work and might have a normal schedule for once. So I'm not gonna know what to do with all that time. So
Okay,
it's-
so I'll hit
we'll
you
get
up.
back to that for sure.
I'll hit you up in a few weeks and
Yes.
ask you the question again later
Yeah.
on. And for those at home who are wondering what the heck we're talking about, you build motorcycles in your free time.
Well, I wouldn't say build. I was attempting to build a motorcycle.
Admit nothing, man. There's like hundreds of countries watching. They believe in you, man.
Yeah. I mean, I really, really enjoyed getting into that, and I really want to continue it. I actually have all the parts for my bike. I just got to put them all together and stuff like that, and get up on some welding stuff a little bit more precise. But
It's been over a year.
Yeah, dude,
I know that because
absolutely,
we were
yeah.
talking a bit last year, at the beginning of the project.
It's kind
I'll
of
check in with you.
It's so tempting too because I literally have every piece. It just has to be put together and built. Like I
What a
don't have to
pain,
spend any
right?
money. It's sitting there.
Just
needs
sitting
put
in there.
together. Yep, absolutely.
How does that go over with your family? They got this thing you're sitting in.
Ah, man. I mean, no. The family's really, really cool about that and stuff like that. And I have to say, we moved. I think I moved right before last year's ZBrush Summit.
Yeah, I remember that.
And so, and the garage is somewhat set up, but I got to get back to that. That's definitely like one thing I want to get back to soon. So.
Yeah, cool. Okay, I'm glad to hear that because, all work and no play. So I was going to ask you if you had any new motorcycle projects. Apparently, you still have the same one going. So
Yeah, that
one at a
bad boy's
time, I
still
guess.
going. Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
That's how
one
I'm
at a
looking
time.
at it.
Most people don't know this about you, but you are an ex-Air Force staff sergeant.
Yes, that's true. Yep.
And
9 years.
Yeah, thanks for the contribution, by the way, for the local community here and at home. Tell us a little bit about, I may have asked you this, I may have not, I don't remember at this point. We've spent many years sort of coming to know each other.
That's true.
Tell us a little bit about how that experience has helped to develop a very strong work ethic in you and a sort of very understanding managerial approach, because it seems like you're very sort of sweet with the guys.
Yeah, actually, the interesting, I am sweet with the guys. That is correct.
Hey, these are well-informed questions, right? This is a serious Louis Tucci.
Actually, the most interesting thing is like being in the military. You put through a lot of managerial training, especially as staff sergeants. I managed people in the Air Force.
Yeah.
I always had a crew of guys. I always found it funny. Like, I mean, I took the training serious, but when I transitioned to an art field and whatnot, I never like. I didn't disregard, but I was like, I don't see how any of that. I didn't expect any of that to move over or carry forward, or those principles stay true outside of the more of structured, not in an art environment. But what I found is actually people are people, and managing people is exactly the same thing. It is you have to like cater to like certain needs and stuff like that. And I do try to transition a lot of those things. I don't believe in a black and white managerial atmosphere. I just don't think it works. I think there's gray areas, and you have to bend and work with people. You have to listen to people. You have to care about them. It's never my way or the highway. I think we have a cohesive team. Talked about it a million times that. You're not, even though I may be the leader of this team, I'm nothing without people, believe me. And it's like I try to let their stars burn as bright as possible and not stand in the way of them.
I think you made a really good, valid point inside the talk earlier. You said that you would come in with an idea, for instance, and perhaps Denzil or someone like Bryan. That's Bryan with 2 Ys, by the way. Someone might say, let's take this way or go this way, and you're very open to that kind of construct. I think that's the first step towards reaching the kind of pinnacle that you guys have sort of been able to achieve with the latest Doom. To be completely honest with you, you're in very sort of sketchy territory with a very established brand that actually sets the bar higher than ever before. But at the same time, you had the very heavy responsibility of reimagining, for those who were watching, probably one of the most significant franchises in video game history, if you think about it.
Yeah, it freaks me out. When I actually think about it, sometimes it freaks me out.
Yeah.
But on the day-to-day,
Tell us about
it's just crazy. I mean, like, when I go back in time to 20 years ago playing on this, my friend's dad, I remember it was such a risky thing because it was, demons and pentagrams and like satanic. And my friend's like, you got to see this game. And he takes me to his dad's business, and when his dad wasn't working, like, he'd go out and we'd be like playing it, and he'd come around and we'd hide it. And then it's mind-bending when I think back to that one day I'd be helping to reimagine those characters. It's kind of crazy.
And not just helping, like you're a lead. I mean, this is not just helping. You're like helping to set the foundations.
I'm just blessed. I mean, it's incredibly, fortunate. A lot of hard work went into it, but a lot of it is just, it's awesome. I'm very grateful to be a part of that.
It's the culmination of a lifetime of experiences. I think whoever's watching out there, if you're thinking about, I want this to be very clear. I might joke with you guys a lot because we know each other for some time now. But there's a very serious message that I've been trying to communicate with all of these interviews, is that there's somebody watching on the other side of the camera, somewhere far, far away from here, who is imagining doing what we do, or what we've been involved in, and thinking to themselves, well, maybe I won't get there. But they keep on working, and that's the basic premise, is to keep on working, keep honing those skills, because like all of us, you end up maybe working on something that is a childhood, very visceral childhood experience that ends up being something that you're engaged with and involved with at a very high level. I mean, you would never have imagined, if someone had said to you then, oh, you're going to be, like a lead on this, you would have said, give me a break, man.
I don't think I could imagine myself out of my town I was in at that age. Like,
there
it's
you
just
go.
hard to believe, So.
Yeah, so stating that, it's really something to keep cognizant of. I want to take a moment and pass the mic over to a guy who, at this point, I speak slowly when I do this because he is moving quick like a squirrel on steroids. Whenever I see you, now you're moving slow.
Yeah,
Last
I'm a little
night
bit slower.
flying.
I'm a little bit
flying. We were flying together.
It was fast.
It's like a Guns
2
N'
kids
Roses
have slowed
song.
me down.
What am I doing here? I've lost you. No, where are you?
I'm right here.
There you
I've
go.
never
Bryan
left
Wynia.
you.
That's Bryan with 2 Ys, one for the first name, one with the last name.
That's right.
Y, and that makes 2 Ys because you need it. So that's 2 for the price of 1 if they're asking at home. Right?
2 Ys, guys.
2 Ys. Hey.
2 Ys.
Huh? Most people are probably wondering what the heck that means, but we're not going to get into that.
You know what
If
it
you're
means.
wondering, listen, if you have to ask why, it's already too late, people. That's the real question. If you have to ask why, it's
One of
already
my
too
life
late.
mottos is just do what Louis Tucci does.
Thank you for saying that. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
It's a long time. What have you been up to?
I joined id probably about 1.5 years ago.
Right.
It was at the tail end of Doom. And just basically hanging out with these guys, learning a lot from them. We talked about a lot of our process at work and what we're doing, but I think one thing that I kind of wanted to hit on a little bit is how closely we work with each other. I mean, we're in LA together. We're like staying down the room from each other. We play soccer, football with each other.
Last stall, for those who need to know. Hey.
Stall.
Huh? Last stall, mate. Not going to lie, I
There
know
you
all
go.
about it, okay? Last stall. Hey.
I know. Louis Tucci.
Right.
He did. He hung out with Emmanuel.
Right? Yeah. We won't get
But-
into that.
Like, we all work with each other. It's basically like a frat house. We want to be a frat house with the best grades, I think is what Hugo said once.
Hugo Martin would say that, a frat house with the best grades. You
So,
guy, man.
just been doing that.
Look at this Paul Gabriel behind the camera giving us the spinning finger of death. They want us to finish the program. Hell no, we won't go, I say. A couple more questions.
I don't have
One more
anything
question. It's
important to
unfair
say.
because seriously, you you know what? For people who don't know, you were at Santa Monica for some time with another team of very talented people.
Yeah, that was a pretty special time.
You're a lucky guy, actually.
So I
You
was
could say
pretty.
that.
Yeah, I do think like what you're saying. There's a lot of hard work involved and stuff, but there is a lot of like timing that you can't really set up as much as you want. But yeah, I had a great time at Sony Santa Monica. Patrick Murphy put a really good team together. There's Peyton Calloway, James Van Bogart, Sam Sherritt, Dustin Blattner, like all these. There's Jay.
Just like, man.
There was all these really talented guys there, and I learned a lot there. And I don't think that I could work alongside these guys if it wasn't for that time there.
What I have in my mind is, well, if this is on camera, so I have to be careful, is just smash that whole group together and say, well, that's what's up. That would be something.
I think some names
Whoa.
have been thrown around before,
Really?
just like
Yeah,
wishing
that
for,
would be
different
like,
dream
holy
teams and
smokes.
stuff like that. So
I just like to sit in a room with that one. But anyway, you see what they've done. They've come in here and they've perverted the airspace with that twisting finger of death. They're giving us the time to roll out back
It's
into the green
disgusting.
screen hangar. You know, never enough time with my friends here inside the hot seat with myself, Louis Tucci. On behalf of all the guys from id, the entire id team who makes Doom possible, this latest edition of Doom, we want to thank you. The community
thank
thanks
you guys.
Definitely.
You know,
Thank you, guys. Yeah,
basically,
thanks for
Denzil
watching
O'Neill,
and-
that's with 2 L's. That's a royalty, right? Associated with royalty
That's-
with 2 L's.
3.
3 L's.
Right, that's the
You get
Denzil,
3.
3 L's for the price of
Yeah.
1. Bryan, Wynia, and Jason Martin, and I'm Louis Tucci on behalf of everybody here inside the ZBrush Summit. Don't go away because
Thank
more
you, guys.
action inside the main room. Paul, take it away now that you've done what you've done.
Thanks for having
All
us.
right, guys.
Thank you.